I'm sure right now you don't need me to introduce to you who Ice Spice is, but for the 6 of you that don't know who Ice Spice is an extremely popular rapper and musician who gained popularity off her hit song Munch. Yeah, she's behind that song. The song that's been all over TikTok, all over Instagram, and basically catapulted her into stardom. And her career would not be a short one either. She basically collabed with lots of hit celebrities, getting their cosign and their approval, such as Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Kai Cenat, and many others. Kai Cenat specifically because she was on his stream, and I'll get back to that in a minute because I think it's really funny about what happened and it's going to make sense if I bring it up later. But speaking of Taylor Swift, she actually did a collab with Taylor Swift on one of her songs, Karma. However, with that all being said, I think it's safe to say that Ice Spice has definitely started to go through a bit of a fall off, with most of her Spotify listeners either not listening or just declining in viewership. And I think it's mostly because most people are realizing that all of her music either sounds the same or just doesn't have any meaning or depth behind it.
You're not even the thought. I be going hard.
And a lot of people are getting tired of her not really putting any effort into her performances and not really contributing anything to her act or her career. And you might be wondering how I feel about Ice Spice, and what I have to say is, I mean, I don't really care. Like, she's fine, I guess. I don't listen to her music. Her music obviously isn't for me. I'm not her target audience, so I can't really form an opinion on it. But to me, I think that the biggest sign that her career is officially coming to its limit is when she was booed off stage in Australia after showing up at least 25 minutes late to her concert and only sung about 3 songs. And this is clearly very disrespectful to the people who paid to be there and the people who wanted to see a performance and wanted to see Ice Spice. But if we're ignoring that, if we're ignoring all of that, I think it's safe to say that Ice Spice objectively isn't a good artist. I think it's safe to say that Ice Spice is definitely unprofessional and doesn't know how to act in a professional environment. I mean, when she was on stream with Kai Cenat and Kai asked her to freestyle, she instead started twerking, which to me just proves my point that she isn't that good of a rapper or a performer for that matter. And if you take away all of that, I think the thing that's making Ice Spice lose all of her fame and all of her attention and followers is that people are noticing that all of her music sounds the same flow, the same beat, the same rhythm, the same thing over and over again with nothing new or organic. Ice Spice is just copy-pasting her songs, and I can see that she's obviously trying to recreate the same flow that Munch had, but it's obviously not working, and you can tell it's not working because over the past 6 months, her Spotify monthly listeners has gradually declined over months and months by the tens of millions. And I know I'm right about this because if you check out her new single, Y2K I'm Just a Girl debut, it sold 4,800 in its first week. I want you to think about that. 4,800 in its first week. This isn't a new artist. This isn't an indie artist who just came out with their first single. This is an established artist with a team of producers and mixers and sound people behind them. This is someone who has a name and constant huge celebrities behind them. This person has associated with Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Kai Cenat, and her single only got 4,800 sales in the first week. I'm not trying to shame her or call her a flop, but it looks like she's, for lack of a better word, flopping. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a wake-up call to her, or maybe she's going to try something different, but this is clearly not good. And if you ask me, it honestly just looks like Ice Spice doesn't even like what she's doing anymore. It honestly doesn't even look like she has the same passion or drive she did when she first started. Like, look at her singing or rapping or performing. Her eyes look dead inside. She looks like she's not having fun and she's not passionate about what she's doing or what she's accomplished. Even her fans and her comments are suggesting that she's on something or that she's just not in it anymore, which I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I think she's just mentally checked out. I think she's just seeing herself more as a TikTok artist who just got really lucky instead of a serious musician who is trying to make a name for herself. I think she really wants to separate herself from that, and I think she just doesn't see that happening, so she's just not into it anymore. And don't get me wrong, some of her songs are actually really catchy. I think that she does have talent talent. I think she has potential. I just think that her heart isn't in it anymore. Most of her songs are pretty okay, but the majority of them do sound alike, and they do have the same flow and consistency. And when she does try something new, it honestly just falls flat. It doesn't seem authentic, and it doesn't seem like she's really into it anymore. But me personally, I think Ice Spice is just tired of being known as that, as the musician who twerks and sings about farting, which is 99% of the music. No, I'm not even kidding. That's 99% of the music she makes. But even if you still don't want to believe that, you will believe that Ice Spice simply just has a messy history of getting into scandals with other celebrities like Nicki Minaj, Lotto, Cleo, and basically anyone that is in the rap industry. And Ice Spice has lost over 20 million of her monthly followers on Spotify just for dissing Nicki Minaj. And if you know Nicki Minaj's fan base, you know that they are a toxic bunch, to say the least. I mean, they went to Megan Thee Stallion's mother's grave and almost vandalized it. And needless to say that I think that Ice Spice really does need to rethink her brand. And honestly, I don't really even know what to say, because most people, she's known as the artist who twerks on stage and raps about pooping, farting, and her cooch. So I really don't know where she can go from here. So what do you think? Is this the end of Ice Spice? Can her career make a comeback? And if you ask me, I think maybe she needs to switch genres. I think she could make it as a pop star. Personally, I don't know, but that's just me. That's just what I think. Maybe she could make it as a pop star, or maybe she can make indie music, be an indie artist. I don't know. But tell me what you think. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I'm out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I try to post at least 1 to 2 times a week. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I'm out. Peace.